Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I plan to create a comprehensive Kurdish language course, Sorani dialect that is. So make sure the first thing you do is to subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss any future videos. Now moving on, in a series of videos, I plan to teach you to read, write and to also speak the Sorani Kurdish dialect. So let's start by introducing the Kurdish alphabet to you. As you can see on the screen, we have 34 letters. The Kurdish alphabet consists of 34 letters. And don't worry about not knowing what they are. That is a plan. We're going to learn how to write them. I'm going to teach you all the way from here down to here to the last one. We will cover a few of them in each video that I will upload. So ensure that you subscribe to the channel, as I said, so that you won't miss future videos. Now, as I said, we will cover each letter or each of these one by one in future videos. In each video, I aim to cover a few of them. Okay, so as I said earlier, we're now going to start with learning the alphabet, and then I will give you some vocabulary to memorize for next week and so on. For the next video, maybe next week, whenever it is I upload the next video. We are going to look at the first one, the first letter, and then the second letter. The first one is the Hamza, or it is pronounced as U, and then the second one is the Alif, or pronounced as A. These are the two letters that we're going to cover in this video with some examples and some vocabulary for you to memorize. Okay, so as we said earlier, the first letter that you saw in the computerized version is this. This is how we write it, or we pronounce it as U. U. Okay? U. U. It is actually called Hamza. Like in English, you call this A, but you don't actually pronounce it as A. This is what it is as well. In Kurdish, we call it Hamza, but we pronounce it as U. In English, for example, you call this A, but when you say water, you don't say U, A, ta. Right? You get me? It is called A, but it's pronounced as A. The same thing applies in Kurdish. Hamza, or we pronounce it as U. For example, if we write water in Kurdish, we would say Ow. Ow. This is what we just studied. Don't worry about these other two. We will look at them in a moment. So, Ow in Kurdish is water in English. Or we can also say Ow if we have to use the English alphabet for you to learn, learn the pronunciation if you want to learn quickly. We will learn the other letters in future lessons, as I said, or in the future. Now, that was one example. Ow. We can have also O. Let me confuse you a bit. So in Kurdish we have another word called O. See the difference between this and that? In English, I think they make no distinction, but in Kurdish we do. This is Ow. This one is O. O. And it means he or she. Instead of writing he and she in Kurdish, we just write O. It doesn't tell us, well, let me put it the other way. In Kurdish, we do not differentiate between masculine and feminine. So when we say O in Kurdish, we just mean somebody, could be he or she. We don't know the sex of that person, okay, or their gender. And you can, if you want to learn it this way, you can also write it that way, O. But this is Ow. Remember, Ah, this goes up. Ah, this is O, right? It is not going up, right? And this is he or she, as we said. We can have, so we have Ow, O. We can have Agir, for example. Agir. Again, remember that we are just learning this letter here at the moment. Agir is fire in English, or in Kurdish, Agir. Okay. What else can we have? We can have Asman, for example. Asman. It means sky in English, or asman, asman. Okay. So that was our Hamza, which was this one. Okay, and it's pronounced as E, equivalent to your A in English. All right, Hamza. Let's move on to the Alif letter. Alif. Okay. So you see, we said this was Hamza. Now we are learning this letter here, right? And it is called Alif, or it is pronounced as Ah in English. Ah. Okay. This was A, O, Asman. This is Ah. So you see, we had the Asman here, or let's say we had the Ow. Ow is more important. You need to remember it. So we had Ah. Oops. Ah. Ooh. Okay. Ow. You see the difference? How it makes this was a Ah. That was a Ah. Ow. Okay. Do you see how this sounds now? It sounds like a, but we pronounce it upwards, right? Ow. Let's say, yeah, we have another letter. We can have something else called. We can have a different word. We can say chow, which is chow. In Kurdish, what do you think chow is? Chow means I in Kurdish. I, or Chaw. Cha. You see? Chow. Again, do not worry about this. We are only concerned with this right now. Chow. Okay? Right, so we have Aw, we have Chow, we have Asman, we can have now. This is an important one as well. Now it's Chia. What is your name? Now, okay? In English it is name. Actually, it is similar. You see, both English and Kurdish are European, Indo-European languages. So there are some similarities between the words, actually. Not, they are different, but there are some sort of similar sounds. Now, name, both starts with N-A, in fact. And it is pronounced as now, if you have to do it this way, if you have to use the English alphabet, now. So if I say, now it's Chia, what is your name? Now it's Chia, what is your name? We will look at this in the future. Okay, let's see what other word I can think of, a word that you can use every day. So we had now, we had Aw, we have Asman, we have Aw. We can have Kar, for example, Kar. Okay, no, let's not write this. We write it a bit properly for you. Come on. So we can have Kar. This is a K. Don't worry about it. This is a and R, the R. Okay, Kar, which means job or work in English. Okay, Kar, job or work. Kar. Right. So let's see what we've learned today. We learned two letters, A, Hamza, and Alif, as I said. Okay. And let's see the vocabulary that we learned so that you can remember it for the next lesson. We learned Aw, O, Asman. Now let's write them down. So we learned Aw, Aw, which is water. Try to learn this for the next lesson. Aw. We have O, A-W. It's pronounced this way. O, which means he or she. He or she. Then we had what else we had? We had Agir, we had Asman, we had now, yes, so we have Agir, Asman, we had Agir, Asman, we had Kar, see we had something else, yes, we also had now, right? So try to learn this, see if you can learn this for the next lesson. Agir is fire, as we said. Fire, or Agir. Asman was sky, or is sky. Asman. Kar is job or work. Job or work. Okay, I think it can mean both of them, mainly more work. We can look at that in the future. Halikar, for example, means work opportunity. Now is name. If you speak English, then it should be easier for you to learn Kurdish, actually, or Persian, or similar languages, Indo-European languages, and I'll tell you why in a second. So now is name, or now, N-A-W, but pronounced this way. The A is pronounced upwards. Now English and Kurdish are both Indo-European languages. That means they come from the same root of a language. They have the same root, same linguistic root rather. And this is why you will see some similar words actually in English, between English and Kurdish. Not similar, but there are some similarities, not completely different. For example, now, name, okay, both of them start with N-A. And we can look in future words. We can look into other words in the future. Now let's stop here. This was our lesson 1. And please subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss future lessons and you won't miss the next videos I uploaded. Lesson 2 that will be. And also give the video a like if you liked it, if you found it useful. And if you have any comments or suggestions, let me know in the section comments down below, and I will in the comment section down below, and I will do my best to address any suggestions or comments that you may have. Okay, so thank you and see you next time.